On Monday night, October 27th, 2025, baseball lost its mind. What started as Game 3 of the World Series between the Toronto Blue Jays and Los Angeles Dodgers ended 6 hours and 39 minutes later as a surrealist painting brought to life, complete with Will Klein, a guy who's played for 4 teams in the last 2 years, throwing 72 pitches out of the bullpen, Shohei Ohtani being intentionally walked 4 consecutive times, and Freddie Freeman hitting his second career World Series walk-off home run at 2:50 a.m. Toronto time. The Dodgers won 6-5 in 18 innings, tied for the longest World Series game ever. The result, Los Angeles takes a 2-1 series lead, and everyone involved aged about 4 years in one night. Let's start in the second inning with what might be the weirdest out you'll see all year. Bichette stands on first base. The count is 3-1 to Dalton Varsho. Tyler Glasnow delivers a pitch that looks, and let's be honest here, very much like ball 4. The kind of pitch that automatically sends hitters jogging to first base. Home plate umpire Mark Wegner disagrees. Eventually, his strike call comes so late and so quietly that Dodger Stadium's 52,000 streaming fans drown it out completely. Varsho, reasonably assuming he just drew a walk, tosses his bat aside and starts removing his elbow guard. Bichette, seeing Varsho's reaction, thinks cool, ball 4, and starts jogging towards second. There's just one problem. The pitch was called strike 2. Glasnow calmly turns and throws to Freddie Freeman at first base. Freeman applies a tag. Bichette is out. The Dodgers record a 2-1-3 pickoff on a guy who thought he was advancing on ball 4. Blue Jays manager John Schneider confronted Wegner in between innings, calling the delayed strike pretty deliberate and asking for better communication. Varsho eventually walked on the next pitch, actually ball 4 this time, and Alejandro Kirk singled. Bichette would have scored easily. This is baseball's version of a glitch in the Matrix. Yes, Wegner's call was absurdly delayed. Yes, the crowd noise made it inaudible. But here's the thing. Bichette can't leave first base until he knows the pitch is called. This is fundamental base running, the kind of thing coaches drill into little leaguers. The Blue Jays lost a run they desperately needed in a game decided by 1. Baseball is cruel and beautiful and sometimes very, very stupid. We're in the 4th inning now. Dodgers lead 2-0. Everything's going fine for Los Angeles until Tommy Edman, a $74 million infielder who's been rock solid all postseason, boots a routine grounder from Bo Bichette. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. had walked to start the inning. Bichette's grounder could have been a 4-6-3 double play. Instead, Edman misplays it. Bichette reaches first, Guerrero advances to third, and Tyler Glasnow is now in trouble with runners on the corners. Then Alejandro Kirk steps up. Kirk, who entered the game with 15 regular season home runs and a reputation as a patient, professional hitter, sits on Glasnow's curveball. Glasnow hangs one up in the zone like a Christmas ornament. Kirk destroys it. Gone. 394 feet to left center. 3-run bomb. Blue Jays lead 3-2. Kirk now has 5 postseason homers, tying Sandy Alomar Jr.'s 1997 record for most playoff home runs by a catcher. The Blue Jays add another run on an Andres Gimenez sacrifice fly. It's 4-2 Toronto. Extra outs in the postseason are like gasoline on a fire. Edman's error didn't just put runners on base. It eliminated the double play that would have gotten Glasnow out of the inning. When you give World Series teams a second chance, they make you pay. Kirk was hunting breaking stuff after Glasnow's 98-mile-per-hour heater. And when he got the curveball up, he didn't miss. This sequence perfectly illustrates why defense matters. One error cost the Dodgers 3 runs and completely shifted the game's momentum. Let's talk about what Shohei Ohtani did in this game, because it borders on satire. Through his first 4 plate appearances, Ohtani went 4 for 4, with 2 home runs and 2 doubles. He became just the second player ever with 4 extra base hits in a World Series game, joining Frank Isbell from 1906, a guy who played when Ty Cobb was still a rookie. His first home run made it 2-0 Dodgers. His second tied the game 5-5. By the end of the night, Ohtani reached base 9 times, a new postseason record. The previous mark was 6. He's now one of only 4 players in MLB history to reach base 9 times in a single game, joining Max Carey, 1922, Johnny Burnett, 1932, and Stan Hack, 1942. Here's his final line. 4 for 4, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 5 walks, 4 intentional, 1 semi-intentional. He's also the first player in MLB history, regular season or postseason, to have 4 hits and 5 walks in the same game. This isn't just great hitting. This is a player operating on a different plane of existence. After watching Ohtani demolish everything thrown at him through 7 innings, John Schneider decided to stop pitching to him entirely. But here's where it gets weird. Schneider didn't just walk Ohtani with runners in scoring position. He walked him with the bases empty, multiple times in extra innings in a tie game. The boldest came in the bottom of the 9th, with 1 out and nobody on. Schneider intentionally walked Ohtani. Ohtani immediately tried to steal second. Alejandro Kirk gunned him down with a perfect throw. Schneider's gamble paid off instantly, and he kept doing it. 11th inning, intentional walk with 2 outs, nobody on. 13th inning, intentional walks to both Ohtani and Betts with 1 out and a runner on. 15th inning, intentional walk with 1 out. 17th inning, 4 pitches well outside the zone with 2 outs and a runner on first. Each intentional walk increased the Dodgers' win probability by over 5%. Conventional baseball wisdom says you never put the winning run on base for free. After the game, Schneider was asked if he'd keep walking Ohtani the rest of the series. His answer, yeah. Just yeah, that was it. When a guy has 4 extra base hits, and looks like he's playing MLB The Show on rookie difficulty, sometimes you just say, not today, and you take your chances with the next guy. The problem, the next guys are Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, who are also pretty good at baseball. Fast forward to the 12th inning. Blue Jays reliever Emmett Sheehan loads the bases with 2 outs. Nathan Luke is up, with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on deck. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts calls for Clayton Kershaw. Let that sink in. It's the 12th inning of the World Series game. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And Dave Roberts brings in the 37-year-old future Hall of Famer, who's announced this is his retirement season. Kershaw had never entered a game in extra innings. He'd never entered with the bases loaded. This was both first, simultaneously. 8 pitches later, Luke hits a weak grounder to Tommy Edman, who flips to Freeman for the 3rd out. It was classic Kershaw, induced with 7 sliders and one 92-mile-per-hour fastball, his hardest pitch of the season. I throw gas now, Kershaw joked afterward. This might be the gutsiest decision of Dave Roberts' career. You're bringing in a 37-year-old legend who hasn't thrown in extra innings, who is coming off a rough postseason outing, but Roberts trusted his veteran lefty against left-handed Lukes. Kershaw, the baseball genius that he is, attacked with sliders and got exactly the ground ball he needed. Tommy Edman, who booted the grounder in the 4th inning, made a clean play this time. Redemption arc complete. This may have been the final out of Kershaw's legendary career. Now let me tell you about Will Klein. Klein is a 25-year-old journeyman who's played for 4 teams in the last 2 years. Kansas City, Oakland, Seattle, and now the Dodgers. His 2024 MLB ERA was 11.05. The A's traded him for international bonus pool money in January. The Mariners traded him to Los Angeles in June for essentially nothing. He wasn't on the Dodgers postseason roster for any of the first 3 rounds. He only made the World Series roster because Ben Kasparius was left off and Alex Vesia is away from the team for family reasons. His only other postseason appearance before Monday, mop-up duty in the Blue Jays' 11-4 blowout win in Game 1. Going into Game 3, Klein's career high for pitches thrown was 45. So naturally, in the biggest game of the year, Dave Roberts asked him to throw 72 pitches across 4 scoreless innings. Klein's final line, 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, 2 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 5 Ks, no runs on 72 pitches. After the game, Klein was asked how he kept going. I was just going to go until I couldn't, he said. We weren't losing that game. Freddie Freeman, who hit the walk-off homer, called Klein MVP of this game. By the end, the Dodgers were so depleted that Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who threw 105 pitches in a complete game 2 days earlier, was warming up in the bullpen to pitch the 19th inning. Roberts praised the unsung heroes post-game, noting that in October, it's not always the superstars who carry you. Klein embodies that. It's 2:50 a.m. in Toronto. The game has lasted 6 hours and 39 minutes. 609 pitches have been thrown. Both teams have deployed 19 pitchers, a World Series record. The Blue Jays strand 2 runners in scoring position in the top of the 18th. Freddie Freeman leads off the bottom half against left-hander Brendan Little. He works the count full, and then he launches it 406 feet to straightaway center field. Walk-off. Game over. Dodgers win 6-5. This is Freeman's 2nd career World Series walk-off home run. He's now one of 4 players with multiple postseason walk-off homers: Jordan Carlos Correa, David Ortiz, and Bernie Williams. The Dodgers have 4 walk-off World Series home runs all time, tied with the Yankees for most. Freeman spoke to MLB Network moments after, joking, "I just missed one. I think it was 22 innings ago." He nearly ended it in the 13th, crushing a fastball down the middle that died in the warning track. Will Smith and Teoscar Hernandez had similar teasers in the 14th and 16th innings, both falling short as the marine layer settled over Chavez Ravine. But in the 18th, Freeman's swing was true, and 6 hours and 39 minutes after it began, baseball's fever dream finally ended. After 18 innings of drama, torture, absurdity, the ending was almost anticlimactic in its simplicity. That's baseball. Sometimes the answer is just hit the ball over the wall. This game had everything: questionable base running, defensive miscues, strategic genius, Clayton Kershaw in the 12th inning, a journeyman throwing 72 pitches out of the bullpen, Shohei Ohtani being walked like he was Barry Bonds' final form, and Freddie Freeman doing Freddie Freeman things. Game 4 starts 17 hours after Game 3 ended, with Ohtani on the mound. The Blue Jays now face an uphill climb, especially if Springer is out. This was one of the greatest baseball games ever played, a testament to endurance, strategy, and the refusal to give up. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like and subscribe button, and grab some baseball apparel at baseballauthority.com. Game 4 is tonight, and after what we just witnessed, who knows what will happen next.